We've convened you all today for discussion among friends, a group of progressives who have been working tirelessly along with us to promote investment in good jobs with career pathways, responsible and sustainable development, public transit and affordable housing, to stabilize and strengthen working class communities across the state.
As we go on and try to stand up against the injustices we see everywhere, we see a pattern of these think tank groups that come out with some credibility, but when you lift off the covers, you realize that it isn't actually an honorable think tank group. It's an organized effort to diminish our ideas and our struggles.
And it is about lifting that veil, lifting that curtain, and seeing what's been going on so that we are not as shocked.
Privatization is when the market replaces democracy in determining how and to whom public goods and services are provided.
Trump has a privatization agenda that he's built a plan to rebuild infrastructure in this country through tax credits that basically hand the infrastructure over to the developers who rebuild it and takes it out of the public hands and puts it into the private hands.
Public services are starved of resources. We underfund them, we starve them, creating a crisis. Then workers and government are blamed for the resulting lack of quality services. The solution that's presented is contracting out and other forms of privatization. The process of doing so involves inside dealing and cronyism, resulting in also crises where the government and the people have to step in to bail out, and then the cycle is repeated.
Particularly with charter schools, there is a concern with differing standards for transparency and accountability between charter schools and traditional public schools.
So, there's things that happen in these places. There's very little oversight of these schools where these charter operators are in. By the way, they're not charter schools. These are still public schools. So they're kind of in there and people don't realize it. And I know there's people here from the Attorney General's office. We can't get anything out of these charter schools. We can't get any FOIA. They all have the same attorneys and they're telling us tens of thousands of dollars. Decisions have to be made at the state level to get us that information.
We need to create an organization here that is solely looking at this issue of outsourcing, contracting out, privatization, not only in the public but the private sector. Because that's when you bring that ideology together and the taxpayer understands that you're really talking about their interests.
Privatization can only reduce costs to government by limiting access to the service, lowering the quality of the service, or impoverishing the workers. The privatization of public transit would be a loud and clear declaration of our loss of faith in government.